know most of y'all in the kitchen right now whipping it up. I wish I had this song on cue because I would play it. You know which one I'm talking about? Greens, beans, potatoes, chickens. You made it. Nah, but we wanted to bring you to it. This is another episode of the 1028 with Corey Ochai. We're gonna get started in about 1 minute. I'm just trying to share this out, make sure it gets to the right amount of people. And man, let's have a beautiful time tonight, y'all. All right, and put the time on. There we go. Hopefully, y'all out there having a great night and everything's going beautiful for you. You're getting ready for your family to come in, all that good stuff. And while that's happening, hopefully you guys are tuned in. We're going to talk about having the confidence in your ability to create today. You know what I mean? And it's really just a conversation about confidence. What's up? What's up, John? What's going on with you, brother? John Paul's on here. How you doing, brother? Don't be afraid to talk and say hello.
John Paul's on here. How you doing, brother?
it's
Don't be
always it's always good to see you on here, bro. I've been appreciating all of the support from all of the neighbors in Sharpsburg as well as just people I know all the way around. So I appreciate that, man. It really means a lot to me. And we're about to get this thing started, man. We edit the privacy and turn this thing public so the world can see it. Ow. We on there. We on there. So the reason for this podcast today is I had a friend of mine's kind of come by yesterday, and he's actually, I can't say he's an artist, he's an antique dealer, and he's probably gonna hop on here. He's probably gonna see this. What's up with you, Chaz? I'm just gonna put you out there. Good friend of mine. He came by the studio to check out everything to see how, how I was doing and what I had going on, and we start talking about the art that I have. So all the art behind me, if you guys can see, all the art behind me is art that I created. For those out there that don't know, I am an artist. I love creativity. I love creating things. It is my medicine, and I got to take it. It's one of those things that makes the world make sense to me. So if you ever see, if you're ever in town and you want to see how I get down, man, please don't hesitate to hit me up, and I can give you a tour of the space, you know. But anyway, let me get back to it. So me and Chaz was talking. We were talking about he also creates art, from time to time, and he was asking me all these questions of how do I do this, how do I do that. Well, I'm gonna tell you about my entry into this creative community because this is something I can actually talk extremely confident about because this is something is very dear to my heart, just like everything else, but this in particular. So if you guys are watching, don't forget to follow the 1028 podcast on Facebook as well as YouTube. All of these streams. If you miss them, you can always go to our main channel and check it out, and I will put them in the comments section so you guys can you guys can see what's going on with me, man. And I'm putting that in there now. Bang. So if you do want to follow, happy Thanksgiving to you, John Paul, for sure. So if you do want to follow the channel, the actual channel where a lot of my content goes on to, please don't hesitate to press the button in the comments section and go right to it, man, and subscribe and become part of the tribe, man, because our tribe is different over here. But anyway, let's get back to the creativity, right? So so Chaz was asking me, how do I create this? How do I create that? How do I think of my ideas? Well, I wish I had like a very, you know, ambient type of dramatic type of answer that made me sound like a guru, but I don't. The reason I create and the way I create is I just go and do it. I never went to art school. I never was taught classically how to create this imagery. It was just something that I just went and did. And it actually benefited me not having the training. So because when you learn something, you go to a school, they teach you about all these rules and how this person done it and how this person done it, and you're supposed to go and supposed to create in these little parameters or whatever. I'm not with all that. I want to be free, and That's what I do. I'm free as a bird when I'm on the canvas. I don't think of rules, and there is no rules. It's a lawless game. When you're creating something that's never been created, then you have to do something that's never been done, which means there's no rules to this thing. The more rules you break, the more creative it's going to be. So, I don't like rules when it comes to creativity. It's one of those things where I can't break a rule that I don't doesn't I can't break a law that I don't know exists. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I do it. I'm free out there. And if you on here, if you guys are just stepping on, man, I see a few people hopping on. Don't hesitate, and I mean it. Don't hesitate to put something in the comments section and yap at me about how you create. So what else did I want to talk about? I really wanted to talk about how I came into this art thing. I called this one the Art of Conversation. It was the very first podcast I did, and it's about just this is a creative talk for artists out there. I did a post earlier about um, when I was talking about with Chaz, I didn't go to school, so I'm not a great drawer. I can't really draw, like you would think an artist draws. Um, and that's your perception of what an artist may be to you. But to me, I'm not drawing realism. I'm not drawing realistic type of imageries or artworks. You know what I mean? That's just not my thing. Um, and I don't think you have to be a great drawer. You don't have to be somebody who has to be truly skilled at pencil and pad. That's a myth. That's a complete myth. You don't have to be that person. Let me tell you why. You don't have to be somebody who's a good drawer. You just have to be confident in your ability to create. See, I said it in the story I just made. I said I can take something and make something. I can take anything and make anything. You know what I'm saying? It may not be, I can't draw anything, but I can create with anything that you give me. I'll create something, and everybody thinks they're not an artist. A lot of people talk about I would draw or I would create, but I'm not an artist. I can't draw, and that's not the truth. Each and every one of you has an ability to create. You may not just notice that you have your own style. I always say the person down the street's mother and your mother can make the same dinner. They can make the same dish, but using the same ingredients. But when you taste it, it tastes different, right? Why is that? Because everyone has an aesthetic. Everyone has the way that they do things. The way you dress is creative. The way you tie your shoes is creative. The way you have your house set up is creative. That is all creativity. It speaks to everyone, but everyone doesn't tend to listen to it when it talks to you. But it is literally in each and every one of you. And the reason I really wanted to make this and tell you that every last person that's watching this is an artist and has artistry in them, that a lot of times when we think about doing something that is, doing something that is that involves creativity, we automatically diminish our ability to create. You know what I'm saying? We diminish our ability to create, and that automatically puts us behind the eight ball. It puts us further back and puts our starting mark further back. We're already starting with a broken leg in this race. And I want to let you know, you should be confident in the fact that you can create something that is true to you, because that's all you have to do. It doesn't matter what someone else thinks about what you create. It only matters what you think about it. What they think about is not your business. It isn't. It really isn't. And so when I do create any artwork or anything I'm doing, I I tried my best to not think of the audience. I want it to be purely from this person you're looking at. And let's switch it back over here. I love this angle right here. How about that? Um, so that's what I do, man. That's just the way I like to roll, and that's the way I like it to feel. I like I said, I try my best to take the audience out of my creativity, but it's damn sure skill. It's one of those things where you have to Man, you got to work at it, because I obviously a lot of times when I do come across any type of problem when I'm being creative and I'm thinking about and I get stuck. A lot of times I get stuck from what other people is going to think about what I'm doing instead of what I'm doing. There's this state of mind called flow. I don't know if any of y'all know about it, but it's a thing that happens. If you ever get caught in a moment and it feels like time doesn't exist and you're just locked in and there's no way of shaking you out of that mode to complete whatever you're doing, that's called flow. And my goal is to try to reach that every time. I do it with music. I do it with podcasts. Uh, I do it with lighting sometimes. Having the lights dim low, so it makes me feel like I'm encaved in my own thing. And there's a million ways to skin the cat of creativity, man. That's a real deal. But don't ever tell yourself you're not creative enough to do something that you never done, because it's a flat out lie. It's a flat out lie. You got this thing in you. So, as we continue, there's also something else I want to talk to you guys about. I don't know if y'all been following the stories, those on Instagram, those on Facebook, but I've been in the zone with my creativity, and I'm thankful for it. I want to talk about what I'm thankful for because it is Thanksgiving. But lately I've been producing some work that's been, man, it's been freeing. It's been very freeing, and I do want to show it to the world. So soon, I'm going to be announcing that I will be having a show soon, guys. I will be having a show. It will be open to the public. You guys can come and view. If you like the pieces enough, you can even purchase. But I want to bring y'all into my mind and kind of show you where a lot of this, what I'm doing on this podcast, is coming from, because it all truly stems from my creativity. And each piece that I create has a certain, you know what? Each piece I create is literally coming from a lot of these places. It's coming from the same place that I create these streams and the topics. Some of these topics came from some of the titles of the work I was doing or that I do. Um, it's very very unique, and it's kind of one of those things where I can explain it to you, but you got to see it. So what I want you guys to do is make sure that you're following the page, because I'm going to start dropping some of these pieces and actually explaining them. There'll be little explanations of what I was feeling or what this piece represents to me. And that's important too when you're creating something. It's not about, what somebody else thinks about it is their business. It's not yours. But what you created it for is also good to put out into the world and let them know where this creativity was coming from. And this is solely for really artists and videographers and those type of people, that really harness their creativity and put it out into the world. But this is also going to be for people that are doing business as well, and have a very creative way of or creative vision of what they want their business to be. It is important to uh, not just let their imagination roam free, but kind of guide it with some type of explanation, letting them feel and think of, where they should have their mind when they're looking at your creation. I like to nudge their thinking. That's what I do. Some artists don't. Some artists just like to let you just take your imagination all the way there. So whatever way you want to do it is up to you. But this is truly how I get down and how I get funky with it. Speaking about getting funky, man, what you guys making for Thanksgiving, huh? What you making in there? Hopefully it's something beautiful. Hopefully it's something delicious. And if it is, don't forget you can DM me and I'll come pick up a plate. And I'm not opposed to that. So we're going to end this off, this little rant on creativity. Episode 1, The Art of Conversation, is back. But we're going to end it off with being thankful and what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for every last person that sees this. I'm thankful for last year, this year that passed, and all the adversity that I went through, because I know it's shaped me and it's shaping me into the person that I'm supposed to be. So if you're out there and you're dealing with something, maybe you don't have, family to go eat at, or eat dinner at, or those other things. Remember, you got you, and that's the most important person. So be grateful that you have another day on this planet. And long as there's breath on your lips, you can change whatever your situation is, and you can improve it. You can make it better. But for that, also, we need to make sure our decisions are something that's positive, because as much as we can make it better, we can also take it the opposite direction. So um, I'm just saying, go out there, be safe. Don't get so wasted you put somebody in harm's way. Go out there though, do something beautiful. The world's counting on you. And this is another episode of the 1028. For those watching, for those listening, I love you. I'm thankful for you. And for those that will be watching and listening as this goes forward, I'm thankful for you as well. This is Corey Ochai, Mr. Fly Guy, Mr. Ochai. Yes, this is I. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful evening. And happy gobble gobble day to y'all. I'm out. I need to get some theme music. It's official. I need to get some theme music, something that's gonna keep this thing rocking and rolling, man. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Bye bye.